Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, to the Mailroom Ghouls. Man, I had technical difficulties with that one. Shout out to everybody that's going to join us. Let me see if everybody jump in now because we had to do another link because the other one, I don't know, somehow I got messed up. I hope everybody is catching on to this. Hope everybody is catching up to it because I had to do a whole nother entire link, and I don't even know if Bam got the time to come in at this point. But yeah, can you hear me out there, Antonio? Yeah, I had to shout out to the Mailroom Nation, the Mailroom Goons. I had to create a whole entire another link. The other link somehow got, I don't know, it got messed up, and I wasn't able to link in. But now I guess I kind of got it fixed. Now I had to actually create a whole nother page in order for it to come out right, you know. So yeah, you guys, my apologies for the delay. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to True Floridian, man. Let me go in here and look and see who's everybody's jumping in more. I'm telling you. Once again, shout out to the Mailroom Nation, the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and the 15th. Welcome, welcome to the mail room. When we come in and take a look at your mind. Yeah, this thing just got all the way blew out of proportion. All the way. And yeah, sorry for that, guys. Sorry, 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 sorry. Let me see. See where we at. We got a couple of people in there. Hopefully everybody that went over there to the other show, hey, more later, yeah, had a technical difficulty, had to create a whole nother link, and yeah, that kind of messed things up because the BAM, he won't be able to. I don't think he's going to be able to attend, but that's fine. We build an airplane while we fly it. That's what we used to. King Mike, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on with everybody in the chat? Shout out to the Marlena Williams, Postmaster General, and everybody that's joining us at this time. Again, I'll put my apologies for the technical difficulties. We got Antonio, we got True Floridian, we got Johnny, we got John up in there, Marlena, Mike Marks. Um, yeah, so and, I was gonna talk about Turtle because it was I think it was a very good topic for Bam to touch on because him doing time with Turtle in multiple prisons. Their first time doing time was Tracy was Gladiator School, so I thought that was going to be a big focal point, and I wanted people to understand that when you look at prison, in terms of prison, when you're on these level 4 yards, these guys not doing no fighting, and what they learn when they get into it, that propaganda is the number one tool used on these level 4 yards. In other words, what I'm telling you, there's no real fighting. It's either knife, you're dying, or somebody's dying behind a knife, or they use the propaganda. It's like politics as you see in today's world. You're not going to see a Donald Trump go out and fight Putin, or Putin fight Kim Jong Un, or Xi Jinping, or Macron, or Tony Blair. You're never going to see any of these people in a fist fight. But what they use politics and propaganda. You got economical hitmen. You got all type of hitmen that go in and ruin the economies and try to upset the ecosystem within these governments. And some of the greatest people at doing it is the United States. They're very good at doing that and upsetting it. And probably what you're seeing with the things that's going on with Venezuela, where the government is actually blowing up boats and not identifying any individuals on these boats, they're simply provoking that country to a confrontation. And once they get that country into a confrontation, they can go in because Venezuela has one of the largest oil deposits in the world. So there's always what's behind the reality, what's behind the appearance is always the reality. That's what we got to look behind a bit. But anyway, let's talk about Turtle for a minute. Kenny Wayne Johnson, a very unique, charismatic, special person that happened to be part of the Santana experience. very intelligent, very inventive, very clever individual. I remember one time, he actually saved me on a couple of things because when I was younger, I was a bit foolish and I made some huge mistakes. And I remember he corrected, helped save me from what could possibly be a catastrophe, a life-ending situation. I'll give you the story. We was all on Willow one day, and my homie Bay Rob, we rest in peace, and my homie Cederated, both rest in peace now. They had did some things over there because they used to hang out over there, Boulevard, man, when it was over there. You know, back then the Boulevard was racking with the dip and all that, and so there was a situation where people was putting together brake fluid and butter, doing all kind of things to get money. So two individuals, they were, of course, they was Crips. They showed up on the block on Willow. We all in front of Bad Habit Rabbit's house, Fat Daddy Sammy house, Killer Wayne house. Mia, we all usually right there. My homie Mooney and Big Mike and Little Roy, all way, or either we over there at Baby Boy's house. We used to be kicking at Baby Boy's house, and Kizzy on the corner and keep right next to him, and Heavy Head down the street, Penright, uh, Killer Bray, Zabo, they down the street. So we all on Willow. And when these dudes came on, man, I got so mad that they was, looking for two of my homeboys and saying, because they mad about this situation. And I grabbed a shotgun and I was finna gun them. And Turtle stepped in and said, "Nah, Bill, don't do that. Don't do that." And I don't know, it was just so reactionary on my part. It was so just out of my character. And if you knew me then and from then to now, you were like, dang, that you was, just without even thinking about it, without even considering the consequences of the action, I was actually going to do something that would have changed the whole trajectory of my whole being and who my life would possibly be in. Because sure enough, had I done it, there were going to be somebody that was going to be in position to tell a story. I don't care what neighborhood you from or who you Redwood or what set you. I don't care about none of that. There's always going to be somebody that's going to talk. That have happened in many situations, scenarios. And I'll give you another story too. I got a few stories. I went to school with Donald McQuiller, Randy McQuiller, Stanley Pitts. Went to school with all three of them way before game banging even came about. We were very good friends in elementary and junior high school. So when the game banging thing did happen to come about, and Stanley, of course, became a Pyru. Donald, and Randy, they became Pyrus. At that time, I'm living in the Oaks Park neighborhood, so my neighborhood, particularly or only neighborhood on Rosecrans at the time, well, Oaks Park and Midtown were the only two Crip neighborhoods. Eventually, we became merged together, became one, became Santana Block. So when all this was happening at Whaley Junior High, it's 72, 72, 72, 73, 72, 71, there was nothing. 72. So the Pyros came between 72 and 73, the Lewis Park Pyros. So when all of them became Pyros, I'm turning back to the next year to school. So there's something that's different about this school, you know what I mean? Because I got all these cats walking around and they looking different, you know what I mean? Even though we left for summer vacation as friends, now we coming back as something else because now I ride the bus and Stanley rode the bus too, and well, he rode over to the neighborhood, and you would think that these bonds were these bonds was a lot stronger back then than they are today, is my point. So when I used to go to school, I wouldn't have no difficulty with none of the power rules that I knew, like the Stanley Pierce and Randy McQuillan, Donald McQuillan, Anthony Toll, Scooter Rule. I knew him very well. Derek Kelly, DK. Let's see, Robertus Crawford, Blackbird. I had relationships with these guys, right? So being that I could never, no matter what the situation was, never be put in a situation where I would do something to them. And they had the same dynamic for me, right? They had the same love for me. So people would say, well, he a crip, he's going to Whaley. It's because I had a relationship with these dudes already, you know. And as I evolved and became this crip guy, they just accepted it. Not that they particularly liked it, but they because the bond that we had became a lot stronger, and they would actually like like tip me on certain things and say, "Hey, Mill, don't do go down." you know, just I'm just keeping the 100 with you because Little George was the only one that did not like me. George, the little George would try to cross me in a minute. You know what I mean? Because he was back there by the wheel shop with Willie T and on them, and everybody knew that don't go back at Dominguez. And this one I got at Dominguez. Don't go back there in the wood shop because you go back there, they deep back there, they whooping butts back there. But anyway, so Stanley get into it. This dude, I ain't gonna say his name. I'm gonna call him K. His name was K. Right? We're gonna use that because I don't want to embarrass the guy. So Kay decides that he get into it with Stanley, right? So I tell Kay, listen, man, you don't want to do that because I just my personal opinion, man. I don't really think that's wise for you. He wasn't no crip or blood or nothing. He just was a dude that got into it with Stanley. So showing up, we was at gym. He called Stanley out. So I tell Kay, I said, listen, man, Stanley is softball. And if you don't know how to stay away from that left, because I knew Stanley. I really knew him. If you don't understand, you ain't gonna win this fight. you actually gonna get your butt kicked. And it's sort of put it in a nice way without using all the derogatory words. Um, so showing up, they get to going at it. He doing pretty well in this fight. Boom, they going at it. Boom, boom, boom. They exchanging punches. Man, that dude threw a right. And when he threw a right, he left that this side. He left that open. He left that open. Now see, that's right there. That left came just like this here. Bam! That southpaw caught him, cracked him in the jaw. He went down, and all I could hear him was saying, okay, Stanley, I quit. I give, I quit, I quit. And at that point, I had to step in and oh, Stanley, he don't have enough, Stan. He don't have enough. He don't have enough. And Stan looked up at me and he just looked down at dude. He on the ground, right? Screaming and hollering because Stan got him good. And he went on and backed up off of him, gave the dude a break. But it was just funny, man. When and just going back in retrospect and going back and looking in my mind and searching for some situations of why certain things pan out the way they did, man, it wasn't too later on that I understood that the bond that I had with these guys has superseded actually game because the respect that we had for one another back then is far superior for the respect because these guys, they don't know each other. And by them don't know each other, there's no communication. They don't know how to communicate with each other. They working with 5 and 6 word vocabularies. They're homies on hood, yeah, gang and all that stuff on hood and gang and all that. I don't know what you get from that. I don't know what comes from that. I don't know how how that is even used as a line of communication. To be honest with you, I can't stand it, bro. One of the greatest tools that God has given and provided us was as humans is the ability to communicate. This is not, there's no simple solutions, but they're all They're all intelligent choices, always. And we got to be able to build up our intellect in a way to where our communication skills become that, to where it's not offensive and it's not seen in that we're being aggressive in the communication. Because sometimes people, just by simple communication, it can get misconstrued and people will just go off the rail. They just go off the rail. Living in that situation. So when my friend, I'm gonna call him my friend Donald, when he lost his life, I was like, dang, because I'm telling you, when I see him, it wouldn't be like all blood, or it wouldn't be like that. It just went because I went to school with these guys, and it was just different for me. And I don't know if people can understand where I'm actually coming from when I'm telling you this. It was just different, bro. And I really don't know how to articulate it in a way to where most people would really feel the passion and the energy and understand exactly where I'm coming from. I'm speaking to you from the heart. Anything that I do wrong, blame it on the head and not the heart. And when he lost his life, I was like, dang. But it wasn't like I didn't see these things because gang, whoever did it or whatever happened to that, they didn't do it. Gang banging killed him, just like gang banging killed Turtle, gang banging killed Randy, gang banging killed Puddin', gang banging killed so many other people. Salty, gang banging killed them. You understand? It was the actions and the energy that you put into something that was a net negative. There was no net positives that was possibly coming out of that because it was very destructive and very on the genocidal things of life in terms of black people, right? CK colored man killer, BK black man killer. And we got so caught up in that, we didn't know that for generations and generations that it would continue to travel, and then it would go so far that everybody, people, it would get lost in translation, it would get lost, and then people start adding things to it. It's just like even when the Hoovers decided to start claiming criminal, then you got all these the MBTs and the sex jerks and the KODs and all these other entities that start coming in that try to be something different and wind up they all became either Bloods or Crips. Shout out to Monique, man. Let me. She gave me that jaw banger. Let me see who's all this. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to Keith. Shout out to Marlene Williams. Shout out to, hey, what's up, Terrell? What's going on, man? That's my guy, man. The super man, Super Six. What's going on with you, Johnny Sullivan? And everybody else that's in, King Mike Mars, everybody that's in is listening to it. Um, so one of my last experiences that I experienced with Turtle, he pulled up and he said, Mel, he said, P's and G's don't mix. And I'm just looking at him. I'm just looking at him, right? And I'm trying to like, okay, why is he saying this to me? Because at that time, I'm a player and a gangster. I'm a player and a gangster. And he was telling me, pick a lane, because either he ain't mad at me, but pick a lane, homie. Because if you a player and you be out in these streets as a player, and then you run into them dudes, you're not gonna be able to explain to them that you just a player now. The ones that don't know you, the ones that don't have no love, the ones that don't have no compassion or generosity or a general care for who you are. Because there's been that time when I'm coming out, I'm on Lavina and Atlantic, and I'm coming out of the store, and there's four guys out there waiting for me. And one guy actually showed me a tattoo. I never remember. He said, "See that right there?" It said SBC, and I'm like, "Wow, I didn't know him." But what he said to me was like, "Yeah, I was from there, but they didn't show me no love. They didn't show you no love." Everybody was loved over there. How you didn't get none of this love, man? Because Turtle passed out love on a daily basis. You understand? He was the most loving Crip there was. But I understand, But anyway, long story short, some words got exchanged, and then one guy hit me with the 40 ounce across the bridge of my nose, busted my nose. I immediately jumped into action. I backed up. I ran in. I jumped over the meat counter because it was a store that served meat. I jumped over the meat counter, grabbed a meat cleaver, and came back swinging. Blood coming out everywhere, but I'm swinging. I'm swinging and hacking, swinging and hacking. But this is what he was trying to explain to me at the time, because I was on some player stuff, messing with these girls and stuff, and putting them out there. At the same time, I never deducted from it that, yeah, you a Crip, and these dudes know you a Crip. They know you from over there. But how are you going to play? How are you going to explain the Crip thing and the player thing now? I ran into a dude from the slip 10 years ago with the Bloods, a documentary, and he wanted to be him, contact him, you, with the permission. I wanted to put him in the country. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Anything, man. Go to my Instagram, the Hood Postman, because I love my people now. You know what I mean? I don't care if you green rag, blue rag, yellow rag. Was yellow rag was the bishops, okay? Green rag's the lime hood, brown rag was the bounty hunters. I don't care what rag you wore. Black rag was Santana, blue rag was the Crips, and orange rag was. I don't care what rag you wore. I do not care about that. That is not my general concern. My general concern is the collective of Black people and the conditions and the social conditions that they're in. I want to elevate it and be able to come in and say some things that would actually change the dynamic in the direction in which we're going, especially for our young people. We got to save our young people because they so lost on 10 different medications. They call it, I call it medication, but you know what it is. So yeah, so going to school with these guys, man, left an indelible impression on me because I knew them really well, and it was just my relationship with them before gang banging even happened, because I'm gonna be 67 in March, so that's just right around the corner. I already ain't no use of me keep saying I'm 67 now, because I'm more closer to that than I am to 66, right? So yeah, anytime anybody got want to reach out to me, go ahead, reach out to me. You can get me on Instagram, or anybody that can guide you to me, man, because I'm very open, I'm very independent, I'm very mindful of how much love and commitment I am to that I do have for our people. I'm very open to even adding more and bringing people in and setting down. But what I don't like is the guys that play these activists or play these nonprofits that's really doing it for themselves. It's a self thing, and they don't know we can see it. I don't get no money. I don't care about. Listen, my job pay me way more at this point than probably whatever YouTube or any of that stuff can do, right? So I'm not concerned about YouTube money per se. There's a lot of people that, I tell you guys all the time, those who feed you can also starve you. So never put yourself in a predicament where one entity is feeding you or providing money, or you making money that have multiple streams of income. That way you're not concerned or overly concerned with that. Shout out to Big Miz, my guy. Shout out to Rub Dog, and shout out to anybody that I ever interviewed, because we will have some incredible conversations. Shout out to them, man. Membrane, uh, 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 just just a assortment and an array of guys, Sparks, Baby Crazo, any of those guys. And of course the BAMM, BAMM is my guy. And anytime he come on, we're gonna do the front channel show. And I just totally botched it tonight. Totally botched it. So if you go back to that 1984 documentary where me and Turtle coming out of the skating ring, and I'm standing up there like doing my little dance cover there, man. That was so impactful when I go back and look at that thing. Me and him standing in the the bathroom at the skate depot. I'm patting on my braids. He fixing his Shirley Temples or whatever. Is that you, Turtle? In there? Yeah, baby. Drop it like it's hot. He's always, he always had these things, If we can't get it, it can't get God. We went to the places that the people told us not to go. All that, So those were the fun moments with him. And again, I appreciated him to a degree that most could probably never even fathom. Even when a situation happened at his house, his mother's house over there in the village over there, and he immediately, I'm on Willow at J Dog, Roro, Scrunchy, Vicky, Thumble at their house over there chilling. And it was corner house. And when he pulled up, he said, "Mel." And when he called my name, I knew something was wrong. I knew something was real wrong. It was just the way he said my name. And I came up to him. I said, "What's up, T?" He said, "Man, they just threw a bomb in my cocktail bomb in my mom's bedroom." We didn't say nothing else, man. We loaded up about 5, 6 cars. 5, 6 cars. And we went from Willow all the way across town, past Centennial, over there to the village. And we whooped them people's ass over there. And that was another time I took it too far because of the person that I'm doing it for, helping. He helped me in so many different ways. And because, again, I didn't know these people, you can always take it too far. When you don't know somebody, that's more dangerous than when you know them because for me, I'm just saying this the way my way I'm set up. If I know you, I'm going to take more consideration out for you and everything you're doing versus if I just rush it. If I don't know you, it's easier for me to hurt you than it is not for me to hurt you. If you get what I'm saying. But if we got some type of relationship, we got an open line of communication. See, because here's the thing: we don't have to like each other. We don't have to go. You don't write on my wall, I won't write on your wall. You don't throw up your set, I won't throw up my set. You don't cuz me, I won't blood you. I won't blood you, you won't cuz me. Right? And we got a problem. And this is the thing. We can get somebody on the phone to help us work through this, sort these problems out versus going into this. Because there was a time it was just this. I seen some of the greatest fights. I seen Stanley Pitts fight. I seen my homie Maury Wooden fight. I seen Big Volcano. I seen Big Volcano walk up in there, man. And and then there was Quentin Mayweather. I got to tell y'all that story one day, man. But he folded Smiley up. Now I didn't even see this coming because the crazy part about Quentin was that he wasn't even a gangbanger, but he was such a big kid, and he lift weights and he had nice size and everything, and because they automatically assumed that he was that when he weren't. He was just a big dude that just likes his sports and working out and stuff. And this during the time when you had all the people was doing karate and all this stuff, man, and the guy decided to come at him. And man, all that anger. The next day, man, it was crazy because when they got at him, they threatened him, injury body, whatever. He came back the next way with all them blue rags on him. Now they don't provoked him and pushed him into a corner and brought him into a headspace that he was never even in. But due to the threat of body and harm, they led him in that direction. Okay, you want it? I'm gonna give it to you. Here I am. Yeah, I'm that. I'm that. What you want to do, man? He folded that dude. folded him, folded him. I got to get Tick on here to talk about because Tick got way more details about this story than I do. But man, I had to put my man in a wheelchair to take him off the schoolyard. Yeah. And that's not to say, and he was an animal. He was a man. That dude was, woo, he was an animal. Just bad timing, right string with wrong yo-yo or something. Bad timing, man. So everything, and everything is not always what it seemed to be, man. You know, I tell everybody that from the east side to the west side, or Compton, and wherever it may seem to be, lock the goddamn door and say no more because there's some times there was some fun, there was some fun moments, there was some funny moments, there was some sorrow, there's some tears shed, and all that, man. Because I'm telling you, I seen every aspect of it. I seen two guys, Turtle locked up, Gangster locked up, Mondo locked up, Kizzy probably locked up, Twins locked up, Bebop locked up, Jack off sleep. All these dudes that was capable, Bay Rob, that capable of doing some real serious damage. That was very violent individuals. Whiskey locked up, and something had happened, and one of my homeboys, and he wasn't a crip. He was just somebody that lived in the neighborhood that loved his homeboys that he lived around in the community in the neighborhood that he lived in, and he lost his life trying to warn us and give us a message and let us know that some people was coming up a certain way, and he didn't know if we were aware of it. Yeah, we was laying in the cut waiting for him, but he didn't know that. So he came up the alley and he met me, and I told him, I said, okay, okay, cool, get out the way. So I didn't expect him to go down the alley. I thought he would cut across the park like he came originally, but he didn't. And when he went down the alley, the dudes was down there and they shot him, and he lost his life. So when that happened, I had to jump in my car and move it because there was a lot of stuff in the car that just couldn't be right there. I moved it over there by the church. And as I walked back across the park the way he should have went, the way I thought he should have went or he should have went, I saw two people talking to the people, right? My point being is that this never, never allow your homeboys or anybody that's in your circle or part of your section talk to the police if y'all don't had a traumatic moment. Because I don't care how tough a dude is, who they is with their fighting skills and all this different stuff. All that doesn't matter. In traumatic moments or moments of trauma, people will say things because they hurt. And I saw them guys, and I didn't, right to this day, I didn't tell nobody because I knew that if I had said what I saw, they would have got crushed. But I was wise enough to understand that they did it because they lost somebody dear to them and they didn't know how to handle the situation. And they handled it wrong. They handled it totally wrong. And when I saw that, this is 1980, when I saw the situation, and it was a teaching moment. It was a lesson. And I never did nothing else with them guys. I never even really hardly talked to them. But at the same time, I didn't. And eventually they just went on and just, got out the way because sometimes the self-accusing spirit is too difficult to deal with anyway, because they had self-accusing spirits because they knew that I saw what they did. They knew that. But I was willing to let them go and take themselves out the equation and just be whatever they was going to be, but don't get into this no more. Because if you get into this anymore, then I got to reveal you. So I've never been one to just, do people like that or throw them out there for my own selfish reasons or any of that. But the team, man, teamwork make the dream work, bro. And that's just what that is. And but you have to be wise enough to understand certain things and elements and how this stuff works. And you could be more of a detriment to your community or to the members or whatever, then you can be a help if you do certain things. You just have to be very, very, very slow to anger, but quick to being understanding and willing and having compassion and be able to deduct from the situation what's the best possible scenario to get out of it. Man, you guys, you know what? You guys are amazing to even come back and wisdom and strength, right? You guys are amazing to keep coming back and listening. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get back to more of the stories because I see that's what you guys pretty much like. And sometimes when I get too caught up in the politics or religion, it kind of phases out because we living in a time where it's just so much going on, bro. So much going on in the politics world. But I'm gonna tell you again, guys, don't always look for the people or look at them as look at their leadership ability. Turtle didn't lead because he could fight. He led because he was this. His ability to think, his ability to counter, his ability to interject propaganda, his ability to see things in terms of the way he needed to see them to move this whole unit of individuals in a way to where they was prosperous, they had money in their pocket, they had cars, they had everything that they wanted. And that's why he was able to be who he was at the time. But I hope you guys enjoy this. Even though I got, I wasn't able to give it to you like I wanted to and then once I get to BAMM on, we'll go back into it because I want you guys to hear it from the prison side too because he left an indelible impression on everybody in prison. I'm talking about everybody from the west side to the east side to Compton to Long Beach, Carson, Gardenia, Linwood. This man had relationships everywhere. As Baby Crazo say, man, you Compton Crips are some of the most prideful Crips it is. Baby Crazy tell me that. But shout out to him and shout out to the whole Raymond Carr, man. Them all my people, man. The Ravens and the East Coasters, man, yeah. Yeah, but that it, man. Shout out to Kiko. Man, shout out to the man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to J Box, another good guy from East Coast. Shout out to Ice, DU. Shout out to Lala. Man, shout out to all of them, man. And shout out to Screw, shout out to Sparks, shout out to Baby Crazo, shout out to Nugget, and shout out to Kill, all them from Raymond, and shout out to my man, the Stunner, man. The Stunner, man, himself, Double D, man, Day, Double. Shout out to him as well, man, and everybody from the west side to the east side of Compton, and wherever it may seem to be. Lock the goddamn door and say no more.
Cali finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing. They see me shining. That's hard work. Proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me. That's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking. And I don't talk about it. I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Reach for the low.
Lock the door, Marlena Williams. We gone. For real now.